All right, and we are back. We've got the coverage here. We are recapping Jags versus Bears, going over Caleb Williams' progression there, getting into some defense talk as well, looking ahead to the bye week, as well as just any sort of trade rumors that are circling the waters here. But I believe I'm starting out, kicking it here to our guy, Tom Jim. Where are we going?
So looks like you covered the intro, so I will just get right into the Jags versus Bears game here. Our thoughts, our feelings. Big win. What was the final score? 36-16, 34-16, something like that.
35-16, yep.
A lot of people out there saying the Bears, playing bad teams. We're on a 3-game win streak here. Playing bad teams, but I would say that we're winning by a lot. We're beating bad teams by a lot, which there's something to say there. You can't, who you play, you don't pick that. So we still have some to prove, but we're 4-2. So I just want to get that out there because there's a lot of that going around. Like, the Bears are fake, I think we're for real. And we could be a contender here. I know Jesse and I were just talking about it. We need to win our next, easy games here. The next four games. I don't know who do we have?
Next 4.
So with that, do you think we're looking to add prior to the trade deadline? I feel like that's something I'm monitoring a lot where, like, for one, I wanted to look at Caleb's progression, but one thing that I was also looking at kind of swimming alongside of Caleb's progression is, like, you have an allotted time where you have a quarterback on their rookie contract and then you're going to have to pay him like Trevor Lawrence and Dak Prescott and, roll the dice there as to paying somebody who may or may not be what they were advertised to be. So that's one thing that I'm looking for is, are we looking to make the most out of his time here, being that we have that, shortened runway?
What's the rookie? 3 years, 3-year contract?
It's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
4th-year option.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll talk about the trade, anything that we have coming up. But as for the game, Cole Kmet, breakout game. Keenan Allen, breakout game. Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns. 1 interception that was pretty bad, but just, rookie throw, just underthrew him. DeAndre Swift being as good as we need him to be. Offensive line looked good to me, I would say we ran the ball better than I expected against that Jaguars front. It was still not great. I don't know what our average run total was, any stats or anything, but
it wasn't bad, but it was brought up by a few scrambles that Caleb made that were bigger kind of chunk plays.
Yeah, and you're talking about Caleb. He's growing. Again, like Jaguars, I think is a step up from Panthers, and he played well. He used his feet. I just felt like he was sliding around, and then he would run when he needed to run. He'd throw the ball away even more this week or when we against the Jags. He was looking left, looking right, looking middle. I mean, his reads, and then he'd dump it down, or like if it wasn't there, he'd throw it away. Those are things that, like, he wasn't doing the first 2 weeks.
It's very noticeable, the difference in comfortability.
Yeah. So, and then, like, that throw to Keenan Allen, back shoulder, I know people were talking about it. Great throw. I mean, that was just right in there. No one else is going to catch it.
Are you talking about the one in the corner or the one over the middle?
Middle end zone.
Yeah. That was an elite throw. Put it in a spot that only Keenan could get it. I think when that happened, I texted you guys the eyes emoji. Like,
yeah. I mean, like,
that was legit.
It's been 6 weeks. I've seen enough that, like, he's our guy. Like, I think I knew that a couple weeks ago, but, like, this is, Jane Daniels is the same kind of thing. Like, they're good. It's not like they're going to be bad. Like, Bryce. I don't want to say Bryce Young's like – I don't remember ever being like, dang, Bryce Young, So, granted, he's on a bad team. But I got a lot of positive feelings from the Bears right now. So I'll kick it to you though. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm feeling pretty euphoric right now with what I've been seeing the last 3 weeks with Caleb's progression, and just comparing what I'm seeing out of him to our previous quarterback in Justin Fields. It's night and day. It's everything that you wanted to see out of Justin that never came to fruition. We're seeing some consistency in the quarterback play. We're seeing better decision making. We're seeing Caleb going through his progressions, getting comfortable in the pocket, just doing all the right things. And, frankly, ahead of schedule. You would have thought that maybe it would have taken a little bit more time for him to be playing at the level that he is playing at right now. So, I think I said it after game 2 or game 3 when he started out the season and he wasn't looking too great. And then you had Jaden Daniels playing really, really well. It wasn't the time to press the panic button. He's going to learn from the mistakes that he's been making. And that's what he's shown that he has been doing. So, you mentioned the confidence is building. I think that is absolutely true. I think he knows that the defensive side of the ball has his back, and so he can play free, knowing that if they're in a tight game, the defense is going to step up, make a stop, get the ball back in the offense's hands, and then they're going to be able to, drive the ball down the field and put the Bears in a position to win in some tight games down the stretch.
I like that he threw that interception, came back 4 straight touchdowns.
Yeah.
He did that, I think, he came back from an interception the game before against the Panthers, or something happened.
Was the Bears rookie record 3 or 4? It was 3, right? When he had thrown 3 touchdowns, that was the Bears rookie QB record. And then he went on to throw another one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I just feel like he's bouncing back. He's not letting it get to him, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that. But
yeah, I mean, adjusted completion percentage 95.8%. So he was 23 for 29. 5 of those 6 incompletions, 3 were throwaways, 2 were batted balls, meaning that just one of those passes was an actual, legitimate incompletion. You could say the batted balls, he might have been able to maneuver in the pocket and find a way to get those into receivers' hands. But seeing that type of adjusted completion percentage is really promising. I think it just speaks to his development and his comfortability back there. The run game continues to look good. I will say the Jags defense has struggled all year. So I think we would have expected to see the type of game that we saw on last Sunday. The Commanders they've got coming up, again, their defense is a little bit better than the Jags.
I think the Jags run defense is top 10 though in the NFL. No. Why?
We looked at this prior to the game last week, and they were both pretty bad. But
Jaguars are a mess. I mean,
let's see, run defense.
They got pretty good players on that squad.
The Jags are 17th in run defense, and in coverage they are 26th. So the Commanders are 30th in coverage, and in run defense, the Commanders are 20th. So actually, the Commanders defense right now, at least in terms of PFF grading, is worse than the Jags.
I think they're starting to kind of figure it out, though. I know they're still ass, but
and I really, this is going to be a great test coming up for the Bears defense, because Jaden Daniels has been putting up crazy numbers on basically anybody that he's playing so far this year.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be a statement for them, and in this next game. Tom, you had put it in the notes. This game got flexed to the late afternoon window.
Yeah.
So that more of the country is able to see this matchup between Jaden and Caleb, which is going to be So it'll be a 3:25 Central Time kickoff.
I like the
flex thing that happens. Do we know? Because I feel like if they're flexing, it's usually to prime time, right?
I mean, this is kind of prime time. This is like the Cowboys did last week. They played 3 o'clock on TV. Other games are going on during that time, but I think it's going to be on TV, right?
Yeah. Well, so during the noon window, it's more regional and there's more games. So depending on where you are in the country, you're most likely to get a game that's most geographically close to you. With the afternoon window, there's less games. So the Bears Commanders is going to be.
I don't know. Probably.
What?
We'll probably get Tom Brady.
Yeah. Do we know who's calling that game now that it's been flexed? Or
no, I don't know.
Tom Brady. I'm calling it.
But I mean, the defense is. And remember that in that game in London, we were missing Jaquan Brisker, we were missing Tyreek Stevenson, and these guys stepped up. Elijah Hicks stepped up, Jalen Jones stepped up. The pass rush continues to put pressure on the quarterback. The linebackers are playing great. We know Kevin Byard and Jalen Johnson are just studs back there. So feeling really good about the defensive side of the ball as well.
Consecutive games.
I don't know what the early line is on this Bears Commanders game, but whatever it is, I would definitely be taking the Bears because it's in Washington, but I just don't like how Washington is matching up with our squad right now. I mean, offensively, I think we're going to pick them apart, and defensively, I think we're going to give Jaden trouble, unlike what he's seen to this point in the year. So. I'm really excited. And then I had mentioned the next 4 games. It's actually the next 3 games before a divisional matchups start. So these next 3 games are paramount. We got Washington, Arizona, New England. So 3 winnable games. If we win those 3, we're 7-2, going up against the Packers at home, I believe, in week 11 or week 10. So going, after the first 10 weeks of the year, if we're 7-2, going into those divisional games, there's going to be a lot of confidence. There's going to be, they're going to be fired up to play those divisional games, and they come back to back to back to back. And then you throw in San Francisco and Seattle at the end of the year as well. 2, not divisional matchups, but against 2 fairly good opponents. Obviously, San Francisco is always tough. Seattle has been struggling a little bit. We'll see where they're at. I think they're our second to last game of the year, but things are looking really good right now.
We're gonna watch some good football here.
Yes, yeah, and I think it's easy to say to this point in the season, NFC North is definitely the best division in football right now. I mean, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, they're all stacked.
Sucks.
And playing really good football. And that's good for the Bears. I mean, in terms of growth and development and learning how to play tough games, it's going to go a long way, especially if we find a way to get into the playoffs. So, the scenario where whoever wins the NFC North obviously is in the playoffs. There could be a chance that the other 3 teams end up in the 3 wild card spots, which would be, just insane.
Probably never happened before, right? I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think so. So that's something to keep an eye on. And I think it's definitely something that's in the cards right now. That's all I got for the Jags Bears game. I mean, just super, really good game. It was coached well. They executed well, aside from that one interception was pretty bad from Caleb. And then they kind of let their foot off the gas a little bit defensively at the end of the game, and maybe looked like the Jags were going to be able to do something, but they still shut them out. So maybe if anything, if I'm being nitpicky, that interception was bad. Caleb needs to throw that ball better to DJ Moore. That was a touchdown if he just put more air on it. And then at the end of the game, defense keep the foot on the throat. don't give them any hope at all.
Yeah, I think we let up against the Panthers as well, but Wargo, I got something for you here.
Okay, yeah.
I have my notes here about Waldron.
Okay.
Supposedly not having a 15-play script.
Yeah.
In the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I know I would say a lot of teams have some sort of planned script of play calls for the beginning of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, we did not do that. We haven't been doing that. And I want to say that we've had terrible first quarters. And what do you think about that?
I mean, the first quarter has been rough. Yeah, I think that's been a weakness of our offense here moving forward. Slow start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the importance of the scripted plays, I feel like, does have somewhat of an impact there where, obviously you can't script for everything, but just having an idea of what it's going to look like when you get out there, especially with a rookie quarterback and Caleb Williams, I think would be.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it seems, when I heard that, it seems a little just not right.
Oversight, honestly. And the fact that, like, the players had to go to the head coach and then go to Shane Waldron and have the conversation with him, and, like, now we're doing that. I mean, that probably was a byproduct of that conversation.
Yeah, so, I agree. The closed door meeting.
Yeah, it seems like an oversight. It seems like a pretty substantial oversight.
Yeah, and maybe, like, it's just taking Shane Waldron a little bit more time to get acclimated to these guys. Like, I don't know, because what I saw in Seattle is not the last couple games, maybe more so.
Yeah.
But, like, I've expected more right off the bat from him. And, maybe it's just taking some time to realize what he's got and his weapons and how to use them and such. But I just thought that was an interesting point.
I mean, the pressure's on, though, right? Like, I mean, we look at, Nathaniel Hackett with Aaron Rodgers. Like, when you got Aaron Rodgers coming in, like, if you're not winning games, you're gone. And that's a possibility. If you're negligent at your job, like – no, like when you see that guy coming in the building, and same thing with Caleb Williams. When you've got a rookie QB and we have the coaching history that we've had previously, that it's your job to call plays that are going to be, suited for him to be successful, like the Texans did with CJ Stroud, like we're seeing in Washington. So, yeah, it's incredible to me that wasn't considered prior to the meeting. So,
yeah. I like our fast pace, though. We did it again.
Yeah, the hurry up. And somebody made an interesting point about that. I think it was actually Kurt Warner on 670 The Score. But we have now the comms for the QB that cut out at 15 seconds, right, prior on the play with the play clock. So if you're running that hurry up offense, you can have somebody in your ear the whole time. You can line up on the line, see how a defense is going to play you, and then still make a play call with that comm system in place. So I thought that was an interesting point to make. And I mean, how could that not be helpful for a rookie QB? So as long as it's permitted within the offense, as long as we've got the opportunity there and we're not forcing it, I love that. I love seeing that, and it seemed like the offense loved it as well. It was like eating out there. We were eating. Everybody's eating. What was it? Eight different receivers got hit for passes too.
I don't know.
That's spreading the ball around the field there.
Torrey Taylor, a little nugget here.
61.5
average punt. Best in franchise history at this point.
It's pretty bananas.
Yeah. So I think we got a winner in our punter, which is a big deal.
Well, it's good to see. We spent a fourth round on him. When we're looking at some of these trades and what we're getting for fourth round picks and third round picks and stuff like that, it's like,
well, right,
that better pan out.
He's right.
Yeah, he had seven guys with receptions.
Okay.
But yeah, one thing you had mentioned with the hurry up, Caleb seems like he's more than you would see with a rookie quarterback, going up to the line pre-snap and making calls, whether that's pointing out where he thinks pressure is coming from, changing the play call, whatever it may be. He has good command back there. He's having good pre-snap vision to put the team in a good position for an effective, play, whatever that may be. So I think for a rookie, this early in the season. That's not something you typically see. And,
I heard that doing that actually is a good way for rookies. They get to a rhythm, but also I think I heard that it shrinks the playbook a little bit for him. I mean, he still needs to figure out what he's gonna call when he goes up the line and stuff, which is obviously good to read and stuff. But I think it does shrink that playbook. That's what I heard. I'm not an NFL guy, but
I would think just inherently that would be
balls.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna pick one here. Cole Kmet coming in, long snapping. I mean, getting a touchdown, he can't even celebrate. He just got to go long snap. So that was cool to see that. He's just a football guy, and I love to see that. So
yeah,
2 tutties on the day.
Jesse likes to go with the defensive guys, so I'm going to put him in a corner here. The other offensive stud, and Keenan Allen. It was nice to see him show up.
He seemed like an outlet to Caleb.
Third downs, a lot of third down conversions we saw to Keenan Allen in the end zone there, some of the route running, some of the things that Keenan Allen, that's why everybody's so excited about Keenan Allen running those crisp routes, being able to box guys out in the end zone, catch those contested passes like he does. So seeing Keenan Allen show up as Keenan Allen, because I don't think we've seen that thus far. So
yeah, that was huge. I'm gonna forego the obvious of Caleb here, even though he probably deserves it. Yeah. And I think he would agree that looking around at the team, giving a game ball to somebody else, being the leader that he is probably a good decision.
Damn.
I'm gonna give it to Elijah Hicks because he stepped in and played really, really well in Jaquan Brisker's absence. He was the 4th highest rated PFF defender. He was great in coverage, 73.7 grade. He had a great tackling grade as well, which you love to see out of a safety. I will mention Kevin Byard was our top rated defensive player, 2nd week in a row. I am surprised at how well he has been playing. I know he's a veteran, and I know he knows the game of football. He's been doing this a long time, but I thought maybe he may have lost some of his luster being an older player, but he's been one of the anchors in this defense. And then I'll just give a shout out to Montez Sweat, who was the 2nd highest rated defensive player. So again, those are the types of guys that need to continue to play well for this defense. But that spotlight on Elijah Hicks.
It was nice to see the defense be as dominant as they were with 3 main guys out. I mean,
yeah. And Jalen Johnson did not necessarily have a good game from PFF standpoint. His coverage grade was 60.3.
Who's that?
Jalen Johnson.
I got him. Oh no, this is for the season. My bad.
Yeah. So this is just for week 6. Not his best game, but the other guys picked up the slack, and that's what you need when one of your superstars isn't having his best day. So that's just excellent team football from the Bears on the defensive side of the ball. Love to see it.
Yeah, 3-game win streak feels good, boys. We got to keep this train rolling. Going into bye week, get our guys healthy. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No. Excited for not as excited for this week of football without the Bears playing.
Yeah.
But I think this bye
needed.
It's needed, and I think it's so great for the Bears to be able to go to London and come back home on a bye week and get ready for this matchup with the Commanders. I can't imagine how Caleb, like what kind of mindset he is going to be in going into this game with all this Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams talk, and did the Bears make the right decision? Jaden Daniels is in the, he's in the MVP conversation above Caleb right now. I know he is going to be fired up, and I think this defense is going to be fired up for him as well. So again, I cannot emphasize this enough. Take the early spread on the Bears.
You got chills.
Yeah.
You got chills, dog.
It's going to be awesome. So can't wait for that matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for our Bears recap segment and look ahead.
One more. Who is the number one offensive lineman for PFF grade for pass blocking?
Did you filter it for a minimum number of snaps? Because if not, I would say Bill Murray probably.
Correct.
Yeah. He doesn't really have as many reps as some of the other guys, but there's one clip of him, I think it was in the Jags game, might have been in the Panthers game, where he literally knocked 3 guys down on one play. Like, he knocked his guy down, then he went to help another guy, knocked him down, and Caleb was scrambling, guy was chasing him, he knocked that guy down too. Like that, he's got a motor, and to have that type of guy who's not on the starting line to be able to come in when another guy goes down or a guy needs a breather, that's what you want. As much as we talked kind of down on the offensive line at the beginning of the year, they're playing well enough for this team to be successful. So yeah, I mean, shout out Bill Murray, but these other guys, Darnell Wright was our second highest graded PFF offensive player this last week. So, he was struggling a little bit, but he's coming around. His run block grade was exceptional. Pass block, he could do some work, but I'm feeling better about the line as well.
And we've got Bates coming back. Speaking of backup linemen stepping up, we've got Bates and Borum expected to return here. Yeah, man, it's great to have that positive momentum in terms of the way that we're playing just on the field. And again, you can only control who's on your schedule, right? So like to be 4-2 here feels right. Haven't really played a ton of talented teams, but in the teams that we lost to, right, it was incredibly competitive. Indianapolis is tough. That was a tough loss, ugly game. But Texans, I mean, to be within one score, have the ball going down the field with a chance to win it. Yeah, it's
not like we're getting blown out by these like the teams that are technically good.
Nothing strikingly bad, right? If there's things that you can point to, yeah, there's a number of things that you can point to that you would like to see better. But there's nothing that's like, we're going to get exposed by this team for this reason next week. And it's just like, when we used to go into some of these games, it's just like, yeah, we were beat before we even showed up. So I don't think that has been the case. I don't think that will be the case with the team that we've got. It's
good feeling. Bears fan, man.
One thing that I mentioned in our group chat, Bears are 4-0 on grass, 0-2 on turf. They have 8 more grass games, 3 more turf games, which are Minnesota, at Detroit, at
Aiden Hutchinson. Oh man,
Seattle.
I can't remember what the third one is. I think Arizona has grass.
Yeah, that would track. Yeah,
they roll their grass outside.
What a stupid thing. What?
Actually, maybe just 2 more turf games, at Lions, at Vikings. So, 10.
Things are looking good.
Yeah.
All around.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. We're going to keep this momentum rolling. We're going into the picks here, but we'll break it off. Yeah, I don't think. Is there anything else? We're all good. All right.
Go Bears.
Signing off. Bear down. Go Bears.